Hi, I'm Emily, and as well as being the social media manager and presenter at Super League Triathlon, I'm also a keen triathlete myself. And this year I've signed up for a 70.3 and it's grouped around far too soon than I would like, and I want to talk to you about how I've been training for it. Typically when you sign up to one of these events, you've got a few options when it comes to training. You can either buy a generic 12 to 16-week training plan, or you can pay for an individual coach. Now, the problem with a 12 to 16-week training plan for somebody like me who's got a very busy job, that means I have to travel a lot and things come up last minute and we can never quite tell you exactly where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing on what day. The problem is when I can't actually do the sessions on the plan, then what do? Do I make it up? Do I just skip them? And there's a whole lot of stress that comes with just thinking about the plan and what I'm supposed to be doing. So for me, I've always gone down the coaching route. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Humango, which is what I've been using for the past few weeks to train with. Humango is a triathlon training app which solves the problem of what to do if you can't miss sessions, what to do if you get injured and can't run, what to do if you're actually just feeling really tired and don't want to train that day. For me, one of the best things about this app that I've discovered so far is that when things crop up, like a little niggle, an injury that I didn't expect, or like I mentioned, a long training day when I couldn't train, it takes that pressure off. It completely transforms the plan and fits around me, rather than me second guessing, should I skip that workout? Should I do an extra one here? It completely takes that stress away from me, like you would expect from a coach. So here's a rundown of how the app works. Download the app, or you can actually log on onto your desktop. This is where it gets really personal. You put in every bit of information about yourself, so they know our height, our weight, our gender, how many hours a week we averagely train, what our training history is, how many hours we've done so far, and more importantly, what race we've got coming up, how far away it is, for it to then start to put together the perfect plan to get us ready for that event. You can also add mini events along the way, so it knows if you've got like a training race leading up to an A race, and it can adapt around that. But let's go back. So we've told it everything we need to know about ourselves, and if you don't know, it will start to work out things like your resting heart rate or your max heart rate if you don't know those numbers. Now, for me, I've been a keen triathlete for a few years, so I already kind of know all my data. I wear a watch, a smartwatch, which tells me all my data, and that actually syncs with the app, so the app gets all that history all ready to start formulating a plan. But don't worry if you don't have things like that. As mentioned, the longer you use the app, within a week it starts to gather information and learn about you to then formulate the best possible training plan for you. So the great thing about that is, me personally, I've got a race coming up much sooner than I would like. And this app, instead of just giving me a generic plan, because it's got all the information about me, all my data, it's seen my training for the past few weeks, the plan is specific to get me and my current state to the best state I'm going to be in a few weeks. Rather than, as mentioned, getting a generic plan, it's got no idea how fit I am or how not fit I am, and then just giving me any plan that anyone can follow. This plan is completely tailored to me. So you can see why something like this is the perfect option for someone like me who's super busy with things changing all the time. The 16-week plan is probably not going to be good for me because there's definitely going to be sessions that I'm missing. I'm definitely going to be ending up doing longer days on filming days, for example, when I actually have to run for some how-to videos. And the problem with having a coach is the time of going backwards and forwards to discuss changing my plan. Some days things come up and what I think is going to be an 8-hour day could be much longer, and I've completely missed my evening swim session. I don't have to ask anyone what should I do in return. I quite literally hop onto my app, quick click of a button to replan, and the plan has completely changed and rejigged to suit what I need in that moment. One thing I found which has been really useful for me is the coach on the app called Hugo. So sometimes, not very often, I will actually train a bit too much. For example, last week I actually went on a bit of a cycle holiday. We were out for long days in the sun. It was delightful in comparison to being in cold UK weather riding around London. So I really made the most of being on the bike and probably overcooked it quite a few days. Now, Hugo, the coach on the app, actually popped up on a message to let me know that sometimes doing too much is not actually the most beneficial for my training. So particularly last week, I kind of said, you know, rein it in a bit. You're kind of going over what is beneficial at this point and causing more fatigue than you need to at this point in the cycle towards your race. So things like that are really helpful, and it kind of feels like you still have that coach because you can also ask him questions. So it generally is a bit one-sided at the minute. Hugo's popping up to tell me I'm either training too much or not following my plan quite as specifically as I should. But I did pop in one day and just said, I feel really fatigued today, and he'll come back and tell me why and how I can change things or to have a day off. So you still kind of feel like you've got that personal touch if you need to ask a question or you want to query why something has been set that day. So I'm just taking a look at my calendar for the day, and it looks like I've got a turbo session to start the morning off. So I'm just gonna get that workout up and then jump straight on the turbo and get it done. Okay, so let's take a closer look at today's session. I've got a 40-minute tempo with some 2-minute VO2 max efforts. So that sounds nice and hard. The great thing about the app is it gives me a full breakdown of exactly what the session is, how long it's gonna take me, what the target is, what the intensity percentage is, and also what I really like is that it gives me what the goal of the session is. So I know some people just like to follow the plan, no questions asked, but I kind of like to understand exactly why I'm doing something. So for example, this session, the goal of it is to improve muscle glycogen storage and usage. And it also gives me an estimated distance I will cover within the session. Now, another really great thing is that I can also change and adapt the session based on what I want to work to. So the app will give me a recommended, so it naturally tells me that we're training to power. So I've got obviously my turbo trainer, which tells me what power output I'm doing, and it will sync to the platform that I'm using. But if you don't have a smart drive power meter and you just want to train to heart rate or even RPE, so or perceived effort, you can switch that and it will adapt the session to you and what you've got available. Let's do this session to power because I've already synced my app to Zwift, so it already pulls through. And my workout today, it looks like I've got a 5-minute warm-up, and then I go into a 40-minute tempo session, and it also kind of gives me a little bit of indication as to what my cadence should be, so how fast I'm spinning, and then I go straight into my horrible 2-minute VO2 max intervals, and then I've got a nice 10-minute cool down. So let's get going. So we have ticked off the session of the day. Those VO2 max intervals definitely hurt, but I'm glad I've got it done. Now I'm gonna quickly get showered. I've got a normal working day today. I'm working from home, and I'm not even gonna worry about what tonight's session is until I've got the working day done. I'll let Humango take care of that, and I'll look at what I've got later. So I am really struggling to book a swim slot for this evening, and I'm not that mad about it because the weather is so nice and I would really like to go for a run if I'm totally honest. Just an easy one. So I'm putting the app to the test. I'm gonna add a workout. I'm gonna say I've got a 30-minute easy run and then see how it rejigs the rest of the plan. So I literally added a workout. I searched, I went on the kind of effort level I wanted. As I said, I wanted easy. It's been a really hot week, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite tired this week. I probably should have let my app know this morning, but I've done some nice cycling outdoors in the park. I've done some strength sessions. I've done some tougher run sessions at the beginning of the week, and I'm feeling it, and I'd quite enjoy just the 25-minute recovery run. And the plan has adapted. So this afternoon after work, I'm gonna head out, get the last of the sunshine, and just do an easy 25-minute run. So I'm just about to head off for my last session of the day. The sun is still out and I've got my easy 25-minute run, which I'm very much looking forward to in this weather. Hopefully you've got an idea of how great the Humango app is and how convenient it is for somebody like me. Today's been a pretty good day with training. I've been working from home. I knew I could get everything done, but I already know in my diary next week, I've got 2 back-to-back filming days in Loughborough, a lot of traveling. They're gonna be long, I'm gonna be exhausted. I'm probably not gonna get my sessions in those days, so I'll definitely be using the replan option on Humango, and it's just so nice to know that I don't have to stress and worry about what am I going to do on those days. The app will take care of that for me. So it's bespoke, it's adaptive, it's so convenient for somebody like me. And if you've got any more questions about it and want to see more of my sessions, let me know. But I'm going to go get on with my run now.